In today's video, we're going to be talking about a risky, easy, and extremely lucrative side hustle that you could potentially use to make $87.50 in a matter of minutes. I'm going to be breaking down what the side hustle is, how you can get started, and of course, why it's so risky. So let's dig in. Pollution is a problem that almost everybody in the world is beginning to tackle, from ocean cleanup initiatives to electric cars to solar panels on houses and so much more. It is something that cities and municipalities are taking more and more seriously. We're all starting to do our part, and it seems as though the city of New York is starting to do theirs as well in a really creative way. So in 2019, the city of New York launched the Citizens Air Complaints Program, and this program was designed to reduce pollution in New York City. According to the Citizens Air Program, idling emissions from gasoline and diesel motor vehicle emissions are known contributors to health-related impacts, including asthma, respiratory, and cardiovascular harm. Idling for longer than 3 minutes or more than 1 minute while adjacent to a school is considered illegal. Now, at this point in the video, you may be thinking to yourself, and you may also be thinking to yourself, why is this considered a side hustle and how on earth does this impact me and my income? So let me explain. Part of the Citizens Air Complaint Program is what's basically considered sort of a whistleblower program. How it works is if you see a truck or a bus that is idling for more than 3 minutes or more than 1 if it's adjacent to a school, you can record that vehicle idling. You can then submit the complaint along with the video, and if that person gets fined, you get 25% of the earnings. Now, it sounds really easy, and it is, but there are a few things that you should know. Now, we're going to be talking about some of the different things that you need to remember and keep in mind if you're wanting to pursue this side hustle at the end of the video. Right now, instead, what I want to talk about is how much money you can actually earn, because the fines add up quickly. So whenever you file a complaint, it has to go through a processing phase, and if it's accepted by the city of New York, the person that you filed the complaint against will receive a fine for their illegal emissions, illegal idling. The average fine for a first-time offender is $250, and you get 25% of that, which means you would receive $87.50. If you turn in a repeat offender, then the fine is larger, and thus your commission is larger as well. Now, the way that I found out about this side hustle was actually through a CNBC video that I found online, so I want to show a few clips of that here because CNBC actually interviewed a few vigilantes that take part in this side hustle, and the earnings potential honestly blew my mind.
Want to make some quick cash? Video a trucker idling in New York City. You can get paid big money because there are hefty fines for dirtying the air, and clean air vigilantes get a share. Of course, there's also risk. So do the snitches get the stitches?
Now, CNBC interviewed a man named Ernest Weldy, a New Yorker who takes part in this side hustle, and some of the things that he had to say were incredibly interesting and, to be honest, a little mind-blowing.
I've been chased.
Speak it up, you
I've been swung at, pushed.
I'll beat your ass right now.
These are just some of the wild moments that had Ernest Weldy running for cover.
What the
Every time I go out of my house, I am prepared for an assault.
Delete that.
You have to go out expecting that there's going to be a confrontation.
So what he's saying is that whenever he goes out onto the New York streets in order to take this footage that will then be used to file the complaints against these truckers and bus drivers, they are just simply not having it. And a lot of times it results in different forms of confrontation, which doesn't surprise me given the fact that these videos are going to be used to fine these drivers $250, if not more.
I won't stop doing this until there's no more idling in New York City.
Now, Ernest goes on to say that he has submitted more than 2,000 claims and complaints to the city of New York, and that as of now, the bulk of those are still in processing. And if every single one of those complaints were to get approved, he would make $175,000. Though, let's be real, I doubt all of them will be accepted, but even if a portion of them get accepted, that is a pretty penny for Ernest. The interview then goes on to interview a number of different people that take part in this side hustle as well. For example, an ex-Wall Street banker that has made over $40,000 through this income stream.
So how much have you made since you started doing this?
From the very beginning, about $40,000.
$40,000?
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
No, it's pretty good.
An aspiring actress who says that she can get 3 or 4 video recordings just simply commuting to and from work.
I'm an actress and work at a performing arts school. Just from walking to work, I can get 5, 6 within A few minutes.
And a pediatrician who's made $36,000 simply recording trucks and buses while commuting to his practice.
I'm a pediatrician. I'm just holding my phone in my hand and try to be inconspicuous, which kind of works, but not always.
In total, to date, New York citizens have made $750,000 through this complaint program. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's not as simple as just recording a video and then being done with it. There are a few extra steps, though in general, it is incredibly easy. Now, like I mentioned, it has to be a bus or a truck. It cannot be a personal vehicle. It can't be a emergency vehicle. It has to be one of these commercial buses or commercial trucks. Additionally, the car has to be idling for more than 3 minutes or more than 1 minute if adjacent to a school, and you have to be able to record that entire interaction. So it's not like you could just be watching them idling for 3 minutes, whip out your phone, take a 30-second clip, and then call it a day. It has to be 3 minutes worth of footage captured on your video device. Additionally, it has to clearly show the license plate information as well as the timestamp information of the video. That way New York can fact check and charge the appropriate person. Then from there, you have to create an account through the program's website. You have to fill out some paperwork and submit the video, and then your complaint will go into processing. Assuming that your complaint is accepted, then you'll be paid out a $87.50 commission on average. But of course, it does depend on the fee that the driver is charged. Now, I wanted to make this in this video for 2 reasons. Number one is because I think that this is incredibly interesting. I understand that not all of you who watch my videos are located in New York City. In fact, the vast majority of you aren't, but I do think that this is a really cool showcase of some of the different ways that you can creatively explore to make extra money. And if you're somebody that's in New York City for a vacation or just you're visiting or there for work, this is something that you could possibly keep in your back pocket. Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking, and it's because I was thinking the same thing whenever I was doing research for this video. There is something about turning people in for a crime and then profiting off of that complaint and that whistleblowing. There's something that feels a little bit gross about that. I definitely felt this whenever I first heard about this side hustle, but to be honest, whenever I continued to do research on this topic for the sake of this video, I kind of changed my mind. The reality is keeping trucks, especially large commercial trucks, idling for long periods of time, it's bad for the environment. And whenever you're in a densely populated city like New York City, it's contributing to a number of different problems that have an effect on a lot of people. So by creating a program like this, like New York City has done, it really kills a number of birds with one stone. Number one, it gives people an additional revenue stream, and it gives people an incentive to do this type of work. People are making thousands of dollars by doing this, and the program's only been around for a few years, and I would argue the bulk of that time was during COVID, where people were not walking around, there weren't as many trucks idling, and so the opportunity to make extra cash as New York City has opened up, it's truly limitless. Additionally is the fact that it does affect people. Keeping your truck idling isn't necessarily a victimless crime. It affects the environment, it affects the people of New York, it affects the animals of New York. It just isn't a good thing. So having some sort of consequence in place for those people that do that over and over and over again, it all in all will help impact New York City for the better. Though this is a lucrative side hustle, there are of course risks associated to it as well. As you're videotaping these truckers and bus drivers, there is the risk of a fight. As the person in the CNBC interview had said, he had a knife pulled out on him before. So it's up to you to really outweigh the risk. But if you're somebody who lives in New York City and you want to give this side hustle a go, let me know how it goes. I'm really curious about this. So if you give it a try, make sure to leave a comment down below or shoot me a DM on Instagram, because I would certainly be interested in learning more from somebody that's done this before. And who knows, maybe if this program is successful in New York, other large cities will give it a try as well, giving some other people around the United States and around the world some extra opportunity to make some extra cash. Like always, if you have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it. So make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video.